When Kathleen Robertson was a 12-year-old kid growing up in Hamilton, she landed her first movie role. It was an NFB film called Left Out. You know who played her mom? Canada's very own Lady Hilarious, Jane Eastwood. Now, fast forward about 26 years, 2011, and Kathleen and Jane play mother and daughter again in the movie Down the Road Again.
Who are you? This is an old friend of your father's.
For Kathleen, that must have been a total trip. And it was a long way from 90210, the days when she played Claire Arnold, the wild child who went after our friend Brandon.
You're in for a wild ride.
People took notice of her intense, brooding energy on that show, but she landed the role of Evelyn Dick in the TV movie Torso, the grisly true story of a Hamilton woman on trial for the murder of her husband back in '46.
Are you trying to tarnish my reputation?
That role won her a Gemini nomination, and Kathleen relished the chance to play such an evil character. It's the kind of role she excels at. Fiery, complicated people. Take her new series, Boss. Kathleen plays the top political aide to the mayor of Chicago.
I'm here for you.
And underneath that cool facade, there's way more happening than she lets on. Kathleen's also got a new film called Not Since You. It's about reuniting with the friends you grew up with, what changes, and what stays the same.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Please welcome Kathleen Robertson.
Oh, my hands are cold.
That's all right.
I'm great. How are you?
Well, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Happy to have you. How's Boss going?
It's going amazing.
Yeah?
It's really fun. It's been kind of a dream job.
How so?
Gus Van Sant.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Gus is incredible, and Kelsey. It's been really.
Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
Yes. It's been really amazing watching him transform and do something so drastically different than what people are used to seeing him do, and it's just been mind-blowing.
What's to figure this role, to be a political aide and a woman, the process of learning the role, did you interview people in that same position? What was that like?
Yeah, it was, I knew a little bit about Chicago politics, I mean, sort of what we all know. But one of the sort of things that it was really important, was when I first got to Chicago, I met with as many people as I could that did that job, that worked for Mayor Daley and who lived that life. Because that was sort of the one component that I didn't really get about her, a woman who would sort of, basically sacrifice everything for this man and for this job, sacrifice everything, and it became very clear in meeting these women who did this job that it's very real, and it comes from a very broken place.
How so?
Well, Chicago in particular, they're very on the table with how corrupt it is. And one of the sort of moments that really shocked me was, and I obviously can't say who any of these women are because they would be in a lot of trouble, but the one woman I said, so ultimately the reason why you do this though, and the reason why these people do, why politics, it's about making change, and it's about affecting change, and it's about, and she just looked at me and she went, absolutely not. I said, well, what's it about? And she said, it's about power.
Right.
It's about power.
That's comforting.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
Well, because that's what we think, right? That's what we think, and then that's what it is. I mean, it's not like that for every politician, obviously.
Of course.
Do in your position, do you need mentors to be able to figure this out? Do you look to other people and see how they pull? Because there's no real manual for how to pull this career off, right?
No. Yeah, I think you do. And I think for me, a huge sort of turning point in my life, and I think was when I was on 90210, and I decided that I didn't want to do that show anymore, and everybody thought I was crazy.
Just
and
mustering up the courage to say, I don't want to do this.
I just didn't, and it came from a very effortless place because I was young and stupid, and I just said, I don't want to do this anymore. It's just not what I want to do, and I went and I found this teacher, Larry Moss, who's I think probably the greatest living acting teacher, and I took 2 years off and I went back to school, and I went every night from 6 to 1 and trained and learned how to do it.
Because you didn't think you knew how to do it before?
No. Even though I'd been doing it since I was 10, I didn't think I knew what I was doing.
Was that because you didn't know what you were doing, or because you didn't think? Because they're two very different things.
No, I didn't know what I was doing.
You'd think on 90210. 90210 was like a watermark show. It was a huge deal.
Yeah, it was bizarre. It was my first American job, and I don't think I had any idea what was. It was just sort of, oh, it's a job.
Hindsight being what it is, did you make the right choice?
Leaving or doing it?
Leaving.
Leaving, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Doing it?
No, right choice to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's interesting, back then, television was a place where you went to be. Television at that time was still very schlocky in a way.
Yeah.
Even shows like that were really good at glamorizing a teen life. And movies were still the place where you could really...
Absolutely.
But now it seems like it's changed.
Absolutely.
There's still great independent films, but now television seems to be the home of the acting craft.
Absolutely.
What changed? When do you think...
Isn't it? It's amazing.
Yeah,
Because
I mean, it's like post-HBO, really, but...
It really is. It's sort of... yeah, back in those days, nobody wanted to be on TV. TV was sort of a dirty word. You wanted to be a movie star. And now I feel like everything great, and not just for women. I think, it's the cliche to say all the great roles for women are on TV. I think all the great roles for men are on TV. I think TV is where it's at. Cable TV, let me be clear,
For
actually.
sure.
Cable TV.
Yeah. Can you point to something where you think the turning point happened? Where television started to become the place where...
I mean, I guess I think it's HBO,
Yeah.
and I think it was Chris Albrecht who runs HBO, who now runs Stars, who's doing our show, and he's kind of brilliant.
Might it be The Sopranos, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it probably, The Wire and The Sopranos and that whole time period of, it just sort of blew everything up.
I want to play a clip. I'm going to go back a few years. Take a look at this clip here.
No.
This is 1990, okay?
The passion is there. It's just disappeared.
Do you want me to talk to Dad for you?
I think I can handle it, thanks, honey.
Okay. Good night, Mom. I hope he comes home soon. And I hope he brings it back.
That's 1990, Maniac Mansion.
Those were some scary overalls.
They were scary overalls, but it was pre-Nirvana. It was pre-Hog-Tongue Baby.
Yeah.
It was okay at that time. It was pre-Snoop Dogg. It's okay.
Oh, that's so funny.
The movie you can see now is called Not Since You. It's in theaters Friday, and also you can see the new Gus Van Sant series, as we talked about, which is called Boss Balls, as Rick Ross would say. Kathleen Robertson, everybody. We'll be right back.